Good morning, everybody. EMT Papa here. Just got off duty of a 48-hour shift. Today is the day we get introduced to Cabwaylingo. It's the Papa Mobile. Now, is it as cool as Unstoppable Morgan's Bronco? Hell no. Alrighty, so had to stop by Walmart yesterday while I was on duty again. I love my job. Anyway, so these are some of the things I carry on every hike. Okay, so back up a little bit. Water that will go into that water bag. Ooh, I do. Anyway, I just woke up. Don't judge me. Okay, so I've got warming packs. Believe it or not, if you get, it's not just a cold weather thing that you can need warming up on. You go into a cold river, extended exposure time, you're going to need it. Okay, so normally this is not in here, but I had to buy this at Walmart too because I loaned somebody my raincoat and I never got it back. Compass, old school compass, because, well, I'm an old guy and I know how to use an old school compass. Okay, bush knife, icy hot, I'm 50. Enough said. Anyway, battery pack for the phone, 1100 cord. What's 1100 cord? Well, you've heard of 550 cord. This is twice as thick. Alrighty, and then a personal boo-boo bag to have on the trail. Now, with that being said, if I'm on the trail and something major happens, there's my big boo-boo bag, and I got a lot more stuff to take care of stuff here. Work clothes, toolbox, work sleeping stuff. Yeah, it's just so wonderful. Well, work boots. So yeah, typically I try not to hike in work clothes, mainly because if you're in uniform, and this goes for any field, if you're in a uniform and people see you out on the trail, by default they think you're on duty. Don't ask me why. Oh, there's a guy from Burger King. Hey, can I get a Whopper? Really? Anywho, so I'm gonna go through and put this on pause because we've got about a 35-minute drive. I will go through and turn the camera back on to go through and get kind of show you the route it takes to get to Cabwaylingo. Alrighty, but before any of that happens, I just got off duty. We have no coffee at the station, which is blasphemy. If you're a EMS provider, owner, if you own an ambulance service, if you own a fire service, you have to provide coffee. Have to. Who does not provide coffee? Anyway, so I'm going to go through. I got to stop, get coffee. It's always a good idea to grab something for breakfast. And then, yeah, when I hit the road, I'll hit play. See you in a minute. Good morning. In the process of turning on to Highway 2565. Okay, so a couple of moments of truth, or a couple of things of honesty, or however you want to put it. One, my windshield is disgusting. Two, instead of today being July 2nd, like I said in my initial video, Introduction to Hiking, today is actually the 23rd. Reason why is because I have actually attempted to record this, well, at least twice a week for the past 3 weeks and failed epically. So I'm coming up with a formulation. Okay, so how is Papa doing this? Papa is doing this on his phone. It's a new channel, people. Things aren't going to be the greatest, but I'm trying. I really and truly am. So instead of making this one seamless video, I am having to break this up into segments for the moment. At some point I'm going to get a GoPro 7 and everything will be fine. And well, why didn't you get the GoPro 8? Well, because apparently the 7 does things that the 8 doesn't, but the 8 does things that the 7 doesn't. And for the type of videos that I'm making and the nature of this channel, the GoPro 7 Silver is the perfect one for me. So that's what I'm working on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of help you get onto 52. I'll stop recording once I get to 152, or right before I get to 152. I will turn the camera back on, or the phone back on, sorry, and then we will record that, pretty much going into segments, and then it is my sincerest hope to record the trail in its entirety. So if I've got everything, if I've got my math in my head properly, at the end of the day, this will be like a 25 to 35 minute long video. But yeah, so this is Louisa, Kentucky. Nice, quaint little eastern Kentucky town. To get to Highway 52 on the Kentucky side, you're going to want to find Highway 23. Now, depending upon which way you're coming, you're either going to look for Highway 23 north, or you're going to look for Highway 23 south. So if you are coming from, say, Ashland or I-64, you're going to want to look for I-64 or Highway 23 south. I just got off duty. I'm not awake yet. Don't judge me. Anywho, yeah, if you're coming from the south end, like Pikeville or Prestonsburg or any place like that, obviously you're looking for 23 north. You're going to look for Highway 2565. If you're coming from the south, which you will know because there will be this little blue H for the hospital, which is Three Rivers Medical Center, which, if there is a medical emergency, is most likely the hospital that they are going to take you to. Nice folks, friendly folks, yeah. If you're coming from the I-64 Ashland area and you're going 23 south, you're looking for Highway 3. You'll know you're at Highway 3 because the Four Corners is a vacant corner, Hardee's, a gas station, and Wendy's. If you're coming from the north, you're going to take a left on Highway 3. If you're coming from the south, you will take a right on 2565. And then you will follow that around and then just literally follow like the flow of traffic. You understand what I'm talking about when you drive it. You are officially in West Virginia. Welcome to West Virginia. Governor Jim Justice welcomes you. You'll come through this little community. It's called Fort Gay. As you can kind of tell by what you've seen on the camera, it's an older town, sleepier town, smaller town, which is all code for this used to be real heavy in coal and real rich and abundant, and unfortunately those days are gone. Stoplight up here that we're coming up on, this is Highway 52, so you will take a right onto Highway 52. You will carry this down for a little ways, and it's like I said, I will turn the camera or turn the phone on when we get close to 152, and I'll guide you through that way. Yeah, again, I do apologize for the delay on this video or series of videos, and yeah, I'll talk to you momentarily. And we're back. So we're coming up on Highway 152. As you can tell by this little sign that's kind of covered in the fog, 152. So yeah, you'll see that sign, you'll see this sign, and then there's this itty bitty little brown sign that says Cabwaylingo State Forest. If you're coming from the north, you'll take a left. If you're coming from the south, you will take a right. And then you will follow this twisty, winding little country road around until you get to Dunlow. Kind of your markers for Dunlow is you're going to have the post office, gas station combination, I guess, for lack of a better term. Let's turn that fan down, shall we? Sorry about that. Dunlow's marker is, you'll see a little sign that says welcome to Dunlow, and then there's going to be, I believe, a church on your right. Again, a combination grocery store, post office, gas station, kind of like an all-in-one building. And then you'll take a left, because you'll also see a sign that says to Cabwaylingo State Forest. So I am going to kill this here and then bring it back up when we get to Dunlow. Alrighty. See you momentarily. Alrighty, so we're hitting the bustling metropolis of Dunlow. I actually had to come to a complete stop, hit record, because, well, Dunlow kind of sneaks up on you. Okay, so Cabwaylingo State Forest, 4 miles ahead. There's the store I was telling you about. And then, yeah. So down that road, if you can see it, sorry, you will find Dunlow Fire and EMS. Oh, Lordy. Dunlow Fire and EMS are the EMS crews that will come to you if something happens and take you to Three Rivers Medical Center. So, nice little 4-mile jaunt into here. Believe it's the Spruce Creek Trail we're doing today. I've actually done this trail every week now since the 2nd, so I've done it 3 times. Unfortunately, I was unable to keep any of the footage of it, but me being the stubborn Texan I am, this is going to be the first trail I post. So, yeah. Silly old man. But the one thing that I should point out, if you've never driven on a country road, and it's not like a West Virginia country road or a Eastern Kentucky country road, all country roads are the same. They're twisty, they're turny. Typically you see the houses like next to the road. Yeah, the road quality, depending upon what has happened naturally to the area, case in point, heavy rains, heavy snows, so on and so forth, they can be kind of pothole ridden. So, yeah, I'm not saying you need a 4-wheel drive to get here, because you don't. I drive a Dodge Nitro. Yes, technically it's an SUV, but it's kind of a pavement clean SUV, if that makes any sense. But what I'm saying is if you show up in Mitsubishi Eclipse that is lowered with nitro and all of that good shit, or not nitro, nitrous, entering Cabwaylingo Forest. I know, don't know how well that's going to come through. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks I'll actually have a bona fide like action camera and the quality will be better. So why don't you just wait to get a camera? Well, here's the thing. Working EMS, you learn very, 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 very early on in your career. Life is very, very short. So whereas things may not be perfect, they may not be ideal, they may not be pristine, they may not be Hollywood, you take every opportunity to capture what you can capture when you can capture it. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying go kidnap the hot cheerleader or the hot nurse or the hot whatever. Oh, he was so dreamy, I had to capture the firefighter. No, don't do that. That's a felony. Anywho, but I'm taking advantage of this. Because, hell, first cell phone I ever had was in a bag on my medic unit in like 19 190. Yeah. At the effective range of 3 houses. Anyway, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. So what you're going to do is you're going to follow this all the way past the ranger station, past the superintendent's house. Actually, you're going to pass the superintendent's house before you pass the park headquarters. Which, when you come, if you can, stop in there. Just say hi. You don't have to do the whole, hey, EMT Papaw sent me, or anything of that nature. Just go through and just stop in, say hi. Lovely people, really lovely people. But you're going to follow this to the Spruce Creek campground for the Spruce Creek Trail. Now, one thing about the trails at this park, you start climbing at like step 0. So as soon as we hit the trail, we're going to start climbing. If memory serves me right, we're going to be climbing to an elevation of about 1,700 feet. And that's all in the span of like a mile and a half. Yeah, and that's what it looks like when you record high definition LED headlights on a camera phone. So I'll go through, record this, and then stop when we hit the campground, and then bring the phone back up once I got my backpack on and boots tied and all of that. So in my first video I went through and I said you could do this in pretty much anything. It didn't require a special wardrobe or anything of that nature. I'm actually still in my uniform. I mean, I took my uniform shirt off, but yeah, I'm doing this in EMS pants, EMS boots, and a t-shirt. So yeah, just past the superintendent's house, and then the building coming up on your left is the park headquarters. So you're going to go past both of these. Going to go past the picnic area, and then the Spruce Creek campground is going to be off to your right. Now, some things about this are awesome. Other parts about this, you go through and you stop and you think, and you're kind of like, they probably could have thought that through a little bit better. Case in point, parking. So when you get to the Spruce Creek campground, you immediately start at campsites. Parking is at the restrooms, bathroom, shower station, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty much the only parking they've got. Now, with that being said, do I think they'd get upset if you parked in a vacant campsite? Probably not. If it's on the weekend, it might be a problem. But during the week, shouldn't be a problem at all. Now, once you get to Spruce Creek, I don't know if I already mentioned this or not, but if I didn't, I'm going to mention it now. Once you get to Spruce Creek, you are looking for Campground 6. That is where the trailhead begins. So, yeah, oops. Sorry. Again, old man with the camera phone, holding it in his hand, driving down the road. Probably not the safest thing to do, but hey, it works. It's West Virginia. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Ain't nobody on the road on a Thursday. Because here, work days start really, really early. So, like, the average person in this area is probably up at, I don't know, 3:30, 4 o'clock. Early morning, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. I know, the kids don't know what I'm talking about on that. Okay, so this is the Spruce Creek Campground. It's a lovely place, I swear to God it is. So, they kind of have like this drive-through camping parking setup. They're all like half moons. Alrighty, so, and then this is the building we're looking for. Jesus, my windshield is disgusting. Anyway, we had some rain last night. It was actually the first rain we had in a very long time. So I'm gonna go through, get this thing backed into a parking spot off the road without hitting the building. Alrighty, there we go. And then I will get my backpack on, my boots tied again, and all that good stuff. And then I will be with you, and we will hike the Spruce Creek Trail. Hercules! Okay, bye. Okay, so leaving the little bath station, there is my disgustingly dirty nitro, Papaw mobile, whatever you want to call it. Alright, so you will head up this, and again, you're looking for Campground 6, and that will be the beginning of the Spruce Creek Trail. It's about a mile and a half. Yeah, and you're essentially going, you start climbing as soon as you get on it. It's not too bad. I know in my introduction to hiking video, I'd made the comment that if you were going to start hiking, walk for 8 days straight. If this is going to be your first trail, realistically, on top of stretching and all of that good stuff, I would highly encourage you to walk for about 2 weeks before taking it, or taking it up. Alright. There's the beginning of the trail. There is campsite 5. And then we've got campsite 6. And then again, we got rain last night, so it's slightly damp, for lack of a better term. So, and then Spruce Creek Trail. And then, actually, yeah, I guess I can show you this way. I don't know how well it's going to come through, but I mean, I'm going to start walking the trail from step 0. And yeah. You start climbing. So now, when the first time I hiked this trail, I stopped by the ranger station, or headquarters, or whatever you want to call it. Talked to those nice folks. These trails are actually maintained. They've got a crew of people through the state that will go through. Sorry, I was walking through a spider web. And they come through and make sure the trail is clear. So, for this particular trail, and one thing you always want to look for when you're hiking, see that mark? That is your trail marker, okay? If you're hiking for a while and you don't see a trail marker, whether it be an actual stick in the sign saying trail, or a dot, or anything of that nature, stop. Because you may be off the trail. Also, whenever you start, see if you can determine what the trail marker is. So, and to give you a general idea how much climbing there is, this is like the first turn, and there's the valley. So, yeah. Which brings me to another point. When you start hiking, you're going to find that you are considerably slower than when you were just walking. Reason for that is because, well, for one, it's a different terrain. Kind of got to slow down when you're hiking, especially like it's not raining, it's misting, but it's not like that freaky horror movie werewolf Axeman foggy kind of eerie misting, but that's going to slow you down as well. So say you walk 3 miles on a flat track in, let's say, 50 minutes, which would be about 15 minutes a mile, 17 minutes a mile, somewhere around in there. Respectable, seriously. When you get on the trail, you will find that your 3 miles is taking you closer to an hour, hour and a half. Reason why is because unlike that flat track, you're going up and down. There's going to be stuff that you're going to look at and go, oh, that's cool. Trail marker. And you'll stop and you'll look at it. That's the one thing about this. Now, that is new. That was there last time I was on this trail, which was last week. On top of that, there's going to be things that are going to just kind of stop you while you're on the trail. Spider webs. If you're new to hiking, you walk through a spider web, you will spend 7 minutes rubbing down every inch of your body that is exposed, trying to make sure that you got all the spider web off you. If you're an arachnophobe, still come. Seriously. Get out, get in the woods. Now, there is something you can do to kind of clear your path. And that's kind of take a stick and kind of lightly wave it in front of you. Okay, it's kind of like a walking stick. You can make it look like a walking stick, but if you think you're about to go through an area where there's spider webs, then you can do the whole sweep thing with the stick. Most of us will know what you're doing, and we will understand what you're doing. People who are not used to the outdoors, they're probably going to look at you a little funny. Because when you're 3 or 4 and you do that with a stick, they're like, oh, bless his heart. He's out there having fun. When you're an adult doing that, they have a tendency to look at each other going, he's on some weird weed. Although I'm in eastern Kentucky and western West Virginia, so they're going to be like, I wonder who made his moonshine. Anyway, but that's what you do. And then you don't have to worry about it. Now, me being a military vet, not that I'm any better than anybody else, because I'm not. They kind of got me over that whole spiderweb thing early in my career. Another turn. I'd say this is another check of elevation, but the denseness of the trees, yeah, that kind of blocks it all out. And we're climbing. Now, whenever you think you come to a suspected area that you're not sure if it's a trail or not, look for the marker. So for the Spruce Creek Trail, and again, this is the only trail I've done in Cabwaylingo. And the Spruce Creek Trail, that is the marker. Kind of like a fluorescent orange, yellow, green, whatever you want to call it. Not orange, but it's that color. For trail markers. Some places you go and there'll actually be little signs hammered into the tree or staked into the ground that say trail. This one does not. Which do I prefer? All of them. I don't care how you mark it, just mark it. So how did I learn about this place? Obviously, I could have just Googled West Virginia State Parks, but the ambulance service that I work at used to employ a man named Matt Stroud. Sorry, Papa's huffing and puffing. I know you hear it on the video. Why? Because I wasn't even huffing and puffing on the introduction video. And I had friends of mine go, you need a filter. You were huffing and puffing. And are you sure you're okay? Fine. So, back to Matt Stroud. Matt loved this park. Absolutely, positively loved this park. Like, every time we worked together, Cabwaylingo was mentioned. And I never got out here when Matt was alive. And after his death, it actually became kind of important to me, excuse me, to hike this. All 4 trails in the park. We lost Matt a year ago. He was a really good man. Kind of goofy. I would not be able to get him out on this trail because Matt was kind of stout. Matt was very stout. As a result, he wasn't hiking. He wasn't mountain biking. Wasn't kayaking. But he said he would ride any 4-wheeler that would get up this trail. So, I know I said I was making this channel for my kids and grandkids so they can see where Dad and Dad and Papa has been. But I'm actually dedicating this video to the memory of Matt. Because, yeah, I do miss you, buddy. Now, depending upon who you talk to, this is anywhere from an intermediate to advanced trail. During the dry months, when all of this has had time to dry, it's a happy trail marker. Anyway, during the dry season, when all of this is dried, I would say veteran beginner or senior beginner to intermediate. When it's kind of moist out here like this, ooh, there's a good shot. That's how far we're up now. So I would say intermediate to light advanced. Funny part about it is everybody watching this is going, what in the hell is he talking about? Get out and start hiking. You'll understand what I'm talking about. Hang on. Almost there. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. What if this comes through on the camera? Alright. Okay. And we're leveling back down. So, as I said, I got a little bit of time between shifts and duty assignments at the ambulance service. So, I am literally spending that downtime with you. Whew. And in reference to the question that some of you may be wondering, thinking secretly, although bonus points if you actually put it in the comments, how is it a man who has walked this trail 3 times previous sounds like a steam locomotive engine getting ready to explode? Well, I worked a 48-hour segment, and in that 48 hours, I got 9 hours of sleep. So, as a result, I'm not fully awake yet. Now, as some of my coworkers found out, this is actually kind of a cool thing to do, because earlier in this whole work week, work month, work whatever, they all just start to run together after a while. I actually had to hike in 3.5 miles on stuff like this because somebody decided to go for a motorcycle ride in a new area and was a little bit too enthusiastic. Yeah. Flew his ass out. Okay. Let's see here. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-doo. Do-do-do. Trail marker. I believe we're almost to the top, which goes to further my point. I hit record at the beginning of this. We are 18 minutes in, and yeah, so when you're hiking, give yourself more time. Now, during the fall when you hit the summit, there is no doubt, early spring, there is no doubt you will see really cool views. Unfortunately, because it is summer and everything is blooming, well, you get to see trees. And you'll understand what I'm talking about momentarily. Oh, Lord. Hello, Mr. Spider. I am sorry for going through your home. Hopefully breakfast wasn't too big that I destroyed. Here we go. Had to stop for that one because, well, not only did I pick up a web, I picked up a spider. So, alrighty. Yep, I'd say we're just about there. Well, folks, go ahead and start wrapping this up now. Because usually where I was losing the video at was on the trip back down. I do not wish to make that mistake again. So when we get to the top, that will be the end of the video. So, let me say now, thank you for joining me. Cabwaylingo State Forest for an early morning hike. Depending upon your perspective of early morning, I work EMS. Sometimes this is mid-afternoon, but I appreciate you joining me. If you have any comments, only if you have any comments, feel free to leave them. And I will respond back to them. I promise. I'm not expecting this channel to get very big. And I'm okay with that. Because I did not create this channel to get very big. See if that comes through. No. Maybe if you got an HD TV, maybe. Alright. Actually, a spider web that was thick enough for me to see before I walked through it. So, that spider gets to keep his home. So, how do you know you're at the top? You've got that tree with that log perfectly smooth, and then this sitting log. Sitting log is what I call it. So we are at the top, and I'll show you kind of what I mean. So you got service road there, same service road. But if, let's let me, nope. Just zoom in on the, get off, damn bugs. Anyway, when these leaves aren't in the way, I'm willing to bet vital parts of my anatomy I can see the next ridge over, belly and all. But with that being said, even in the summertime, this is a beautiful hike. Caveat, the reason why am I out here at 7 o'clock in the morning? Well, because we're supposed to hit 95 today with a heat index of 110. So 74 degrees and 80% humidity is as good as it's going to get. I'm here. Yeah, Papa needs to improve his fitness, but Papa doesn't need to have a heat stroke in the process of improving his fitness. So, anyway, everybody go through. Have a wonderful day. Again, thank you. If you want to like it, like it. If you don't, that's okay. Again, I'm not going to be butthurt. But now you've got a general idea of the stuff that we're doing. I'm not always going to be huffing and puffing. So, and again, the one nice part about YouTube is if you just want a quiet hike by yourself, mute me. There are lots of people in my life who wish they could mute me. I understand them wanting to mute me. Anyway, you guys have a great day. I'm going to kill this here. Kendra, if somebody could send this video to Kendra, and Kendra, next time you go to Matt's gravesite, tell him High Speed said hi. EMT Papa says hi. And thank you for telling me about this place. I do miss him. Hugs and kisses to everybody else. Love you, mean it.